Welcome to Ryan just ate 11-day hot dogs, and let's see if he survives the next hour. I am Ryan Connor.
Nick Cobb.
You're Nick Cobb.
Yep.
And we are here. There's a lot of echo on my voice.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Oh, yeah. Everybody
What's
hears
that
it.
about? Oh, stop it. Do you really hear it?
Yeah, I do.
You hear echo?
It was pretty loud. I mean, I don't know about echo, but
Okay.
it was
All right.
louder than normal.
I just turned it down. Am I better now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start over.
But no, there's all good stuff.
Yeah,
Keep
but
it
is it
in.
gonna sound? Oh God! All right, Nick, the other day to me,
Here we go. Oh my
is
God.
recounting Bill Clinton's eulogy at the funeral of Coretta Scott King.
That's right.
For those who don't know anything, that is the widow of Martin Luther King. Nick said that Bill Clinton's eulogy began with, "That lady is dead."
The woman in the box there, that lady is dead.
Yeah, he said this, and I was like, man, that's a bold start, right? How do you turn that into a moving eulogy? So I watched the eulogy, and that's just not even anything remotely like what happens. He does the smoothest crowd work I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Not crowd work, but just like on his feet. It's just amazing. And then the eulogy is about how we didn't lose a symbol, we lost a woman.
What he said is like, that's a woman in there, not a symbol. Like, we've got to treat her as a regular person that had regular person issues, all of that, and did all this great shit. She wasn't just a symbol. It wasn't Batman. Okay.
Exactly. But he did not say that woman is dead.
I was recounting.
You said it as like at Abigail Adams' funeral. Did you know that John Adams started with this? He goes, "You all ever seen a dead whore? No? Then come on and look in this box." Like, it's
and then was able to still make a moving eulogy out of it. Still. Yeah.
So why did you think that it was that woman is dead?
Because Louis C.K. brings it up in a bit, like he did like years and years and years ago, about how strong and like bold he comes in on the speech, because people were still taken aback by like, that's a woman in there, not a symbol. But the way that it was said, like by Louis C.K. was, that woman there is dead. There is a dead woman in there, something like that. Like, that is how he said that Clinton said it.
Did he not check the internet to see what happens in the speech?
I don't think. I think I think it just worked for him. It just worked for the bid, and like, that's how I wanted to remember it, because it is pretty bold.
It's like quoting Reagan, and you say, "Build some more wall." It's the opposite of what the thing was. You know, how Reagan
walls,
said,
please.
"Mr. Gorbachev, build more
Build
walls."
more walls now.
But
build those walls now.
You're known to have controversial opinions. Sandusky, of course, first and foremost.
Yeah, my friend listened to our last podcast, and he texted me because I went on last week and was talking about how no one has said the word horseplay since the Sandusky thing happened.
Right.
No, not that everybody was using horseplay all the time.
Right.
But like, my uncle doesn't use it anymore. Lifeguards don't use it anymore. Coaches don't use horseplay anymore. Especially coaches. No one's. It's been like just out of existence. It's just out. It's sucked into the vacuum, out into space. No one says horseplay anymore. Then my friend texted me, and he said, "You mentioned on the podcast how no one should use the word horseplay as a phrase after Sandusky said it. In my Civil War audiobook, they are quoting generals from their letters and diary entries. It is a running theme where they say, 'If only the soldiers would abstain from such horseplay.'" So
they were molesting each other? Is that what we're to take from that?
In the shower. Hosing each other off.
So I will say that
after Gettysburg, engaging in horseplay.
I want to be fair, though. While Nick it's not like he condones what Sandusky did. He just thinks that he got a raw deal.
That's absolutely right. Look, man, there's always the flip side to the coin, and everybody has a hot take on something. You just
I
it's
don't
just
think I
wait to
do.
be revealed. Yeah,
Do I?
well, you're weird. The whole weird thing you have about how you hate Habitat for Humanity.
I don't consider that a hot take at all.
Like, why? These
I
people
don't
are
consider that a
building
hot take.
homes.
Let the people build their own home. Give them the boards.
So you're against people volunteering their time to build a home for someone that doesn't have a home.
Give a man a house. He has a house for a day. Teach a man to build a house. He has a house forever.
It's funny that you said generally a house lasts longer than a day. Generally, that's a hot take, man. That's not one that you're.
I can't think of another way to criticize Habitat for Humanity. What, we're just giving away houses? We're just gonna give them away?
No interest? Nothing?
Did you hear about Jimmy Carter, his eulogy at Rosalind's wedding? He goes, "You all want to see a dead whore? Come on up to the front."
The peanut farmer speaks. I love how you mentioned that. Like, everybody always talks about how he's a peanut farmer, but he was also just like a brilliant scientist.
Yeah,
right?
he was a nuclear physicist.
He was, well, there you go. I mean, even better. But like, that says everything you need to know about our country, that a nuclear physicist would have no chance to become president.
I mean,
none. Everybody would just be talking about how snooty they are doing math. But a peanut farmer.
Last year there was talk of Mark Kelly being this is almost a direct analog, being the vice presidential pick of Harris, because he was a fighter pilot and an astronaut, and it was just like, nah, man, people aren't going to go for an astronaut. They don't see an astronaut as a hero pilot. They see an astronaut as, ooh, he's so smart. Oh, are you too smart to live on the Earth?
You think you're better than me? That's what they think.
You think you're better than me because you live at the space station?
Yeah,
and so
absolutely
they
right.
It's getting a peanut farmer. On
you
the
want
ticket,
you want an astronaut? How about maybe a Snap-on tool salesman? You got one of those?
Yeah,
that guy's got a shot. Especially if he's getting his trucking license, man. We got ourselves a real candidate.
If we could find someone who's never left Western Pennsylvania, I think we've got our best shot. Someone who's never left Western Pennsylvania and pronounces quesadilla quesadilla.
If his arrest record is longer than his resume, then we can actually sit down and talk about something.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a horse with a little bit of potential. No, that's just sad that it's like, here's a guy who grew up on the peanut farm, right?
Yeah, I know. I think he still maintained it too. But yeah, he was a nuclear physicist by trade.
And
I don't know
the guy we did not want.
Yeah, they were like, lean into the peanuts.
More farming.
Don't
more manure.
Anyone...
Talk about that.
I love going to presidential libraries, and I did not, and I like reading about presidents. I did not know, or at least had forgotten, that he was a nuclear physicist until I was at his presidential library, and I was like, why do they only talk about? They just talk about the peanuts and the carpentry. What's happening?
I mean, I never heard anything
physicist.
other than he was a peanut farmer, and I'm not surprised. It's like, no, relatable, always relatable. Someone like, we all want to like elect our next door neighbor or something, or a cousin. I don't get it. I'm always talking about that movie Limitless, where Bradley Cooper becomes like the smartest man alive, and in the end, he's like basically running for the Senate, and it's implied like someday he'll be president. I'm like, that's the biggest flaw in the movie. That is the biggest leap in the movie, in a movie that preaches the whole like, hey, no one uses over 8% of their brain except for Bradley Cooper on this medication, and now he's using 40%. He can learn Portuguese in an afternoon, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest leap, that anyone would want the smartest man, smartest human to be president. That is the leap. Right. He would have had a better shot had he never had the meds. And
Did you ever see the? First of all, you completely glossed over me saying the Jesus carpentry thing. That's why they leaned into that when he was a nuclear physicist. You completely glossed
Right,
over
right,
that.
right, right,
Completely
right.
glossed over that.
He's a
Um,
carpenter. That's the main thing about that guy.
Did you see The Simpsons? It's like my favorite joke from. It's like 25, 30 years old. Where it's based on Plato's Republic, right? And they want it to be a city run by philosophers, geniuses, right? And uh so what is it, it's Stephen Hawking ends up being there, right? And he's making a speech about how just because you're smart doesn't mean that you're the best at weighing the needs of everyone, right? And he does this long speech up there in the like town gazebo, and then Homer yells out, "Larry Flint is right." This is like the best joke ever, man. Calling him Larry Flint. And if my memory serves correctly, they're in Moe's and during the credits, and Homer keeps talking to him because he thinks he's Larry Flint.
God. Did they do a cutaway to Larry Flint so that other people who wouldn't understand the joke got the joke?
I think
hope
Larry
they
Flint
didn't.
was in the news at the time. Also, I think
right.
the hot dogs were a mistake. I'm starting to feel weird in my chest.
Yeah, man. I had food poisoning last week. I went out to San Francisco, got a couple of great carnitas, and then went and performed a couple hours later. And they had to put a barf bag on the side of the stage as if I would ever be able. Hang on one second. Let me just go up,
Yeah.
Chuck, behind the curtain. Right, I'll be right back. Anybody have any Listerine in their pocket? Yeah, that happened.
I took a pee break during my closer one time at a college.
Really?
I had to pee that. I was in pain. So this was at George Mason, my alma mater. I've never said alma mater before other than reading. You would normally say the school I graduated from. But anyway, I'm performing there. I'm excited to do the show. And I had a migraine all day. And right before the show, I was like, oh, God. I was like, maybe caffeine will help me. I go across the street from campus to Dunkin' Donuts. I get an extra large iced coffee. I chug it. God damn it. Sure enough, oh my God, I feel awful. sure enough, the headache
it's a little
went
different
away.
After 10 days, doesn't it?
Oh my God. The headache went away, but then about 15 minutes into my set, I had to pee so badly. I get to about 55 in, and I am in just excruciating pain. And my friend Tim Miller, who's so funny, is in the crowd. And I was like, hey, Tim, you want to do 5 minutes right now so I can go pee? And he just went up and did it. And I came back and did my closer.
How did he do?
He did great because it was like we just acknowledged how absurd it was. You know, it's not like I just said it out of nowhere. I told them why I had to pee so bad. And I was like, yeah, I just drank 48 ounces of coffee before I came on stage. And
was it something that you were continually remarking on throughout? Like, oh man, I gotta pee, and yeah.
Oh, maybe I don't remember.
It's always weird when you go on stage and you have like dry mouth and you have to pee. I always find that to be extra frustrating. Like, I can take one of the two, but both is just inexplicable. Now I'm confused.
Have you ever gone on stage when your shoes came untied?
I mean, I've gone on stage a number of times when someone clearly just farted. Like they farted during their closer and went up.
God. I need to text Rachel real quick. Text Calvin Coolidge, do not eat the hot dogs.
Something that happened this morning. I went and had myself an esophageal manometry.
Today?
This morning. Yep. And what they do in this situation is they're testing your esophagus and if your esophagus can swallow food well, right? And so they put a cable, like a pretty thick cable, down your nose all the way down to where your esophagus meets your stomach. And the nurse turns to me And she's like,
They
so I'm going
start
to put
shoving dicks down your throat.
So she turns to me and she's like, I'm going to put the cable down one of your nostrils. Do you have a preference? I've
You
never
should
heard
have
it.
waffled. You should have waffled.
I know. I
Definitely the
turned.
left. No, wait.
I should have waffled, but I
right.
turned to her and I was like,
No.
dealer's choice. Left or right, you pick it, okay? I'm on your turf. You pick the nostril.
Do you have a
And then, like, she started to go down my left nostril, but for whatever reason, it didn't work. And then she was like, oh, this isn't working. But don't worry, everybody's face is different.
Oh my god! Hey Nick, do you have a good luck nostril and a bad luck
Yeah,
nostril?
apparently. And then she goes down the right one. She's like, see, there you go. The right one would have been the way to go. I'm like, sorry.
Dude, I feel like I'm gonna die from this hot dog. Jesus Christ!
Go do what you got to do, man.
No, it's like it's in my chest, not
Dude.
like even not esophagus. Like it's in my heart.
That's how I feel if I have like Cheez-Its.
Why did I do this?
I don't know, man.
I could have eaten a peach. My doctor let me down. Let me tell you about my primary care doctor. So,
Please.
you know, I got diagnosed with the old skin cancer, right?
Yeah.
And the day I had my appointment with her to get the referral to the dermatologist, she was sick. So I saw her colleague. So I sent her a message through like the health system chat thing. And I said, hey, just want to let you know for my records that I went to the dermatologist and I tested positive for skin cancer and I have a procedure on August 26th. You know what she wrote back? Thanks, chart updated. No punctuation, anything. No, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Just thanks, chart updated. This lady went to Harvard and Georgetown. She knows where commas and periods go. She's a working medical doctor. Thanks, chart updated.
She doesn't have the social grace to even acknowledge that you have a form of cancer.
Yeah, I mean, she may as well send me a thumbs up.
Yeah,
Or send me a thumbs up. Or sick, bro.
It's like for a long time, my son, I would be like, this. He just had this phrase that he would say every time, and he would say it so dry. I'd be like, Charlie, where's my wallet? And he'd be like, it's a mystery, and then just walk away.
It's a mystery.
Yeah, it was great. So I was telling you last week about how Cinnabon locked me out of their app. How I kept on having to reset it and ended up having to do facial recognition software and O'Hare so I could get a thorough. But like, what? Something I'm just like I have a long-standing beef with how much time every adult I know spends, except for you, spends resetting passwords. This time this week, I reset my bank password. Have you ever reset your password and then immediately had to reset it a second time because you already forgot what the password you just put in?
We've talked about
that
this
happened
before.
to me.
I don't know my passwords. My computer does it.
This is just going out to everyone else. Then I reset the bank password. I immediately forgot it. Then I had to reset it again. Then they did two-step verification, pinned to my email, all that. And then I finally logged in just to find out I was overdrawn and had to pay it. They charged me. It's just such a kick in the dick.
Yeah.
You reset passwords twice just to find out you have -$8. You're like, God. This is just the worst, this reality that we live in. Why? And like everyone says now and has for years, like, oh, I don't keep cash. Why would you keep cash?
Yeah.
It's like, because you're like, that's fine. But like, if you're at an Arby's, you shouldn't be using an app.
Well, you shouldn't be using an app, but I just use a card or just like.
But people use an app. There was in 2017, I looked into this because I find it so irritating that Like to me, if you're gonna buy like a classic roast beef sandwich on the side of a highway with like soggy bread and gross cheese, like cash is the way to go. That is what you pay. You don't want any record of this. It's just cash. But in
You and I
2017,
disagree.
there was a data breach with the Arby's app. So like enough people 8 years ago, there were enough people using the Arby's app that they had to get a national investigation going on.
Oh my god. I almost
Imagine
threw up in my
getting, I mean,
mouth just now,
everybody's
I'm
gotten
sorry.
that letter at this point. Like, you want to join a class action, data breach. Now you can get Equifax for the next year for free, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the sentence, I've never seen Arby's.
Yeah.
This is because you've used the Arby's app too many times.
Well, I mean, honestly, what's the fear there that people are going to find out how much horsey sauce you're eating? Like,
Right.
what's the fear?
I told you that I got locked out of my pillow. Amy gave me, I told you
What are
it
you
came with
talking
a,
about?
Amy, I told you this already. I have talked about this on the podcast about how she gave me a pillow for my birthday and it came with a charging cable and an app. I had to scan a
What?
QR code, all this
What?
stuff. I've told you this before. This is years ago.
What are you talking about? What?
I had a pillow,
Locked
like
for
a-
what? I don't understand.
I still don't know. I refused to download the app and figure out what it was, but it was just like, but the app came with, like, there was a manual that came with the pillow and you had to set up an account, username, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, so that what? Like, somebody
What
else
does it
will find out
do?
my sleep number? Like, what are we talking
Does it
about?
self-adjust or something? What does it do?
Dude, I don't know. To me, it was just like a crap pillow. Like, it was, I put it in our little crap hammock out on the patio in Van Nuys. And the
My-
charger cable would
yeah.
just kind of stick in your head if you didn't move it around. Like, can you imagine just be like, can you unplug your phone? I got a pillow I got to plug in.
I don't understand. My toothbrush has an app.
Yes.
I downloaded it when I first got it, and I was like, I'm not using this thing. What? I'm so sorry for people who are watching on YouTube. I'm nearly throwing up in my mouth about every 5
You can
seconds.
take a
right
minute if you want.
now. It's not going to
It's-
help. This is going to be 6 to 8 hours.
It's just disgusting to me, like how beyond the pale we are that like everything we do has an app. And for me, it's particularly just embarrassing when it's
Yeah.
like sad fast food shops, you know.
Yeah.
Went through a Taco Bell yesterday, which by the way was $33 for 4 tacos. But I went through a Taco Bell and they're like, "Are you going to
What?
pay with your app so that you can get more points?" I'm like, "No." No, I'm
but
not
you're
going-
wrong. You
What?
should live your life. Everything you should do is for points, Nick. You end up saving money. Look, I use the Chick-fil-A app. Anytime I go to Chick-fil-A, I use the app. I probably get $200 worth of free shit per year because they just send you random gifts. Or then you can use your points. And maybe not $200. That's probably
Yeah,
more,
but is that
at
really
least
how you
60,
want to
70.
spend your life when you're looking back? I don't just like it's just
It's
too
no
much,
extra
man.
time or trouble. It's just
Yeah, I
when you're
think it is.
paying when you're paying for pickup because you're ordering on your phone if you're paying for pickup anyway, and then it's like, hey, if you click this button, your meal's free. I'm like, yeah, I'll click the button then.
Fine, but
You're
you're
so
but
wrong
you're
on
picking
this.
Chick-fil-A. You don't have an app for every single fast food place.
No, only there in Chipotle, but I've never.
Okay,
used
then
the
what are we
Chipotle
talking
one.
about? What are we
Because I
talking
don't
about?
go to any other fast food place.
Right, but some people look. I assumed now that tacos are like $6 a piece, not too many people are going to Taco Bell, and yet there are people apparently who go there, have an app, and they want to get points for it. And I'm like, what do? Isn't
Because
there
they
something
get
like
savings.
30 years
What's-
ago? You didn't have to get an app. You could have just actually paid cash for a Crunchwrap. Like, why do you have to like remember what your mother's maiden name is so you could have a chalupa? It's
Look,
just annoying. Like, what do we? Why?
I understand you're annoyed because you don't understand how passwords work. It's fine. Some people don't get passwords, okay? But the idea
You're
of
so
being
irritating.
bothered
You're
by
intentionally not understanding what I'm saying.
no,
You're intentionally.
being bothered that people are using an app for points is nuts. It's the same thing as using a punch card. Like when you use a punch card at a coffee shop, your 10th cup's free or whatever. It's the same thing.
It's not
Except you
the
don't have
same
to-
thing because a
except you
punch
don't have
card
to
you don't
keep a
have to
card.
change the password or anything. It's like it's just there's
You
nothing.
shouldn't have to change your password and the others either. You just don't know how to keep your passwords straight.
Who does? Who has other than you? Other than
Dude.
you? Who doesn't have 400 passwords out there across every business that they patronized over the last 15 years? Like, isn't the most secure way to do it just to buy your taco with $5 in cash? No one's going to know anything.
People do it because say there's a 2% reward, and say you spend $40,000 a year on things, right? Or let's just say 50,000 just for a more round number. If there's a 2% reward, that means over the year you're getting $1,000 of whatever you buy for free. I'm not saying $50,000 at one place, but just if you're using
I understand.
points everywhere.
Look, dude, I have credit cards. I use all those points. I do all that.
If you fly, you use the reward system for the
airline. Of course, when I fly, does it? Yeah, I'm
I
talking
don't understand the problem. Your problem with people saving money.
I'm talking about it makes sense to do that. So look, I have credit cards, sure, but to have different points for every single restaurant, have a different app for every restaurant, it just seems like a whole lot of shit to keep up with when you could just have one credit card. Just have one credit card, use it on the credit card.
No, but it's so you get kickbacks at the place. But the thing that I'm missing from you, and I think there's nothing to keep up with. All you have to do is save an app on your phone and then open it when you're at the place. You shouldn't, if you use the passwords app that is on your phone, it's, Chrome has theirs if you have an Android, and then iPhones have their password app. If you use that and you have it so it saves to the cloud and stuff, you won't have problems. The only time I ever have a problem with it, it's because everyone has my passwords to my streamers, and occasionally I have a device that gets deleted because like too many of my brothers are logged in or something.
Right. I understand why people do it. I just would like to have some transactions in my life that do not require my phone.
You have that choice. You can still pay with cash.
Yes, I know. And I prefer it if possible, or a card. I would prefer not to have this everywhere I go. Everywhere you go is just another app. It's just annoying. I don't know how you don't think it's annoying. We have talked about how we don't want to have our phones on us all the time. We've talked about it.
Look, when I was young, we didn't need shovels. We picked stuff up with our hands. All right, we didn't need.
This
shovels.
is not that, and it's not. It's not.
It's
not that.
You're right. It's not the same, but it's still it's just people getting free stuff. And also, like, if you want to pick up, you order on the app, so it's ready when you get there.
Of course, but that's an exception. You're citing an exception. You're zagging. All I'm saying is it'd be nice if there were some places
that's not an exception. That's the norm.
I feel like you're intentionally misunderstanding. Because you've told me many times you would rather not have to use your phone. Of course, you do it now. You disagree with me now.
I'm talking about social media. I don't like social media. I don't want to not have a device. I just think social media should be gone.
Okay.
I like having access to
it's worth risking your data being hijacked so that you can get like one free extra sauce a year.
It's not. First of all, what data are you talking about getting hijacked?
One of my friends, his data was taken by hackers through his Chipotle app.
Yeah, but what data? They just got his Chipotle data?
No, they got I think they got data.
Oh, did he have the same password for his Chipotle app that he had for his iCloud or something? I can't.
You say that like it's crazy, but I don't think you realize that you're in the minority here. You probably are right, but you are, I think, in the minority. Most people have just a spin on the same password for most of their shit, so they can pretty much remember it most of the time.
I doubt you. I doubt that. I think that's the case 20 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Now I think that's rare. I know my mom does stuff like that, and then every time I have to tell her, like, Mom, you have the keychain here. Please use that, or people are going to steal all of your money.
Sure.
And so now I have passwords saved. She has weird ones, and she writes them in a notebook.
Sure. Yeah.
but I don't. Nick, come on.
What do you mean? Come on. Why is that so ridiculous?
I just don't think it. We're in a world of like Mr. Robot came out 10 years ago. Everyone should know to have random strings as passwords.
Yeah, and yet most people don't. Most people just are like, add a 1 on the end of my other one.
Well,
That's what most people probably do. I'm not saying it's right.
people don't do that, please. You are as Nick says, you're risking your data.
You are. You are. I'm frustrated with you. You really took a heel turn on this. This is not how you speak on like when we're not on the podcast. And now you're just now.
I don't understand your angle on this password thing.
What is there to understand? That it's annoying that you have to have like a password or an account of any kind with any place you go. That's a little bit annoying, a little bit too much.
Because you don't have to. It's your choice. If you want it, you can. If you don't want it, you don't have to. It's the same as having a punch card, except it's digital, so you don't have to keep a punch card in your pocket.
I know that. I know it is my choice, and I know it's the same as a punch card. It's still irritating. It's still irritating that I have to have my phone all the time, really, to do any kind of transaction.
You don't. You can use cash if you want.
No, you can't. There's plenty of places that don't take cash.
Okay.
Plenty of places. I got a drink at Second City 2 nights ago, no cash.
You can use
and that
your
was
card
a bartender.
then if you don't use your phone, but it's still
I did
more an exception than what is your argument then?
I keep on. You just are refusing to hear my argument that I think it's irritating that everywhere you go, there is an app that comes with it, and everything you buy. Like I told you, I got a pillow that had an app and a charger.
You didn't have to use the app.
No, of course not. That's the point. But the charger was in the pillow. I had to pull it out. Otherwise, it was just like plugging you in the head the whole time.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it sounds like a complicated pillow for no reason.
Yes, that's the whole point. Everything is more complicated than it should be.
I support
you think that you could be able to go to a White Castle and not have to like remember, what your first car was. You would think you'd be able to do that, but you can't.
You don't have to do that. You can just buy a burger.
People have to do it all the time. All the time they have to do that.
It's opt in. You don't have to do that. You can just
You don't have to, but then you feel stupid because then you're not getting the free stuff. So you're like, I'm going to opt in, fine. And then
do it.
What? Then you're on the White Castle app train.
Then you know what you're signing up for.
Of course.
It's voluntary.
It is, and it's still really irritating.
It's not like there was a draft and your number got read. And now you got to have a White Castle app. What are you
Our
talking
freedom
about?
is being taken from us at every turn. And it's by bullshit places that I barely even want to be at when I'm there.
This sounds like a perfect segue to our conspiracy theory segment. This is called, Is This a Real Conspiracy Theory? It was named by one of the masters in marketing. What I do is read 3 conspiracy theories. I made one of them up. You have to guess which one's made up and which one's a real conspiracy theory that people believe. Okay? First,
do I get mad at every single one of them like you did last week and the week before? You're just talking about how stupid they are, and I'm just like, I didn't make up 2 of these. I didn't make it up, and you're attacking me about something I just found and also thought was ridiculous enough to put in here.
Hey, sorry for doing the verse in the Connorverse Cobb there. Sorry for injecting some life into the segment.
I like the segment.
It's fun.
I like it. Yeah.
All right. The first one is fast food restaurants purposely change our passwords to embarrass us when we're at the register, and changing our passwords so that we will buy more food out of embarrassment because we can't log into the app.
Okay.
That's not real. That's not real. I just said that to see if it would set you off.
I
That's
mean,
not what I said. That's
no,
not what I said.
I wasn't going to take the bait. I just wasn't.
Okay. Okay. All right. Number one, soap. Okay. I'm gonna have to cover my mouth for these because I think I'm gonna laugh.
Soap.
My dog's snoring. Okay.
I thought that was a MAGA hat for a second.
Soap is a mind control agent. Some fringe believers think that mass-produced soap contains subtle neurotoxins that suppress rebellious tendencies. The cleaner you are, the more obedient. Okay, that's the
okay.
first one. Number two, bees are time travelers. Because bees can sense electromagnetic fields and have complex navigation skills, some believe they have actually that they are actually time traveling surveillance drones from a post-apocalyptic future. So they came from the future, not the past. Okay, bees.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's fun.
Number three, Oscar Mayer hot dogs are actually whole pig penis. They pretend
Okay.
Oscar Mayer pretends they are made from scrap pork meat, but they are actually whole penis. Oscar Mayer does this because they were initially the meat processor for the CIA, and feeding people whole penis was seen as a way to generate compromising material on people.
Interesting. I mean, I could see any of them as a conspiracy theory. For sure, the first I could see as a conspiracy theory because there's the fluoride, there's chlorine in the water. I mean, people have been theorizing about that for decades.
Mhm.
The third one for sure because there are a lot of those companies that were built like what was it, like Vienna sausages or something was built from the military.
Mhm.
Like we want to build something like build some crappy little product so that soldiers
Mhm.
can eat and
Mhm.
like just keep it in it preserves forever. I can see both of those as conspiracy. What was the second one again?
Bees are time travelers
Yeah,
from the
bees are
future.
time travelers. And yet I don't think you made that up.
That's one of those. What's the purpose of this conspiracy?
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems too obvious that would be the one that you're making up. So I'm going to be wrong on this, but I'm going to say you made up the first. I'm going to be wrong, but I'm going to say that.
You're incorrect. I made up the Oscar Mayer hot dogs are whole pig penis.
Ah, bummer, man. I thought that was actually an actual chance of that. I was really hoping. I mean, that's believable that it would be a conspiracy theory. Yeah, man. Pig dicks. Like you
I thought
gotta use the whole animal.
I thought specifically, and you could see so many people thinking, "Oh, Oscar Mayer, German immigrant right after World War II. What does that tell you?" And like, just I don't know when he came over here, but I could just see people getting into that.
That's a good
Do
one.
not
I like that.
eat
That seems
11-day-old hot dogs.
that seems. I mean, obviously, when you said the thing about hot dog, I was like, that's probably the one that he made up because he just had hot dogs. But that's not fun. It's not fun to guess that way. And I want to believe that someone else believes that they're dicks.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, Nick, tell me about your stapler needs.
It's constant. It's a constant problem. I
Yeah, we
always
all
need more staples and staplers.
Yeah, that's the problem. Sometimes I have enough staples, but I don't have enough staplers. And sometimes I have enough staplers, but I don't have any staples. Well, with Stapler for a Day, a stapler rental firm, they say we only need a stapler once every 14 months. Not me. With Stapler for a Day, you don't have to drop $14.99 on a classic swing line and another $6 on 3 million staples. With Stapler for a Day, you can rent not a swing line, but a Douglas Pure, the Rolls Royce of staplers. I'm not doing a good read right now. If you think you've stapled before, you have not, and you should shut up about it unless you've stapled with a Douglas Pure. Go to staplerforaday.com, enter the promo code Connor V Cobb, and you can get your first rental for $24.99 for 2 days.
there's a part of me that always wants it to be Douglas Fir, always, rather than Douglas
Yeah.
Pure. It's
Yeah.
a great name either way.
Well, it's a play on it because actually the harness, they call it a harness, the part that you press down on the staple, it's actually made from fallen Douglas firs, naturally fallen. They're not chopping them down. They're fallen. They're they're treated with the most exquisite oils, frankincense, myrrh, all of them, and
Olive, yeah,
olive oil too.
yeah, sesame,
Yes.
yeah.
So that probably is why. You got any hypotheticals?
I mean, I'd really like to hear from our listeners if any of them have taken you up on that discount. I bet there are a lot of happy customers out there that aren't
Well,
emailing.
judging by our bank account from the kickbacks, they're doing it.
All right, so I've got
it
a
would
hypothetical.
it would be fun to be filthy rich and just start these companies, but they're only usable in conjunction with the podcast.
Right.
God, I think I'm dying.
That's exactly how I was in San Francisco. All right, so I got a hypothetical, and then I have my own rank them, if you don't mind, because I've already,
you have a hypothetical, and then it sounds great. Let's
okay,
do it.
right. Here we go. This is kind of a scenario. Here we go. A man comes up to you. You and I do a show. We go and we do a show, and there are several comics on the show, and we do it. Now you do amazing on the show, right? It's not important when you went up.
So this happened.
Yeah, you do amazing on the show. I have a middling set at best. I'm just like reading stuff off of Post-it notes. I'm mumbling. I get a couple laughs.
Oh,
but they're charity. It's not much.
Oh, do you mean every alt show in LA and New York?
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about you.
No,
you're giving yourself the attributes of, you know what I mean?
Here
Nick
I am trying to ignite fire into this segment, just where you were.
I'm so sorry, because what I was saying, Nick is always very sharp on stage, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so a man comes up to both of us. We're just hanging out after the show. You had done amazing. I had done mediocre, and he immediately compliments you, offers you $5,000 to do a 12-minute set in what is definitely going to be an awesome show. You've actually heard about it before, but not from everyone. But the few people that talked about it said it was amazing. And it's only 12 minutes for $5,000. And yes, it just goes straight into your account. Then you say yes, I'm sure. Then he turns to me, and I'm standing right beside you, and I had a mediocre set, and he says, I'll give you $25,000 for an 8-minute set. Can you accept this without any resentment whatsoever after you had a superior set and he's paying me 5 times as much for a set that's 2/3 as long?
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, right? I'm getting $5,000 to sleepwalk on stage, basically 12 minutes. I'm taking it. However, you and I will step aside and we'll go, what the fuck's going on here? And then I'll say, you're getting paid $25,000 for 8 minutes? Like, what's happening here? 1, 2, you're buying me dinner that night.
And he says to me, I want you to do the same stuff you did tonight. This was just like shit that I just looked through some old notebooks.
Then I would be convinced that the gig is a social experiment and he's trying to prove some point.
All right. So no resentment is what you're saying. Now, however, let's say that
I'd resent the guy, but not you, dude. So, good for you.
So instead of me, it's you. And remember the Hansons? Hanson, the Hanson. It's one of the Hanson boys that now does stand up. And
is that true?
I have no idea.
Well, everyone's doing it. So, yeah.
Right. So we'll say that he's like an E or an F list celebrity. Like he would have to bring up who he is for people to even know, oh, you were in Hanson, right? He's that level. He's brand new to stand up. And he gets an offer for $25,000 for 5 minutes. Can you keep your mouth shut?
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things that you can't do anything with. It's like Madonna would get paid $100,000 to do 5 minutes of stand up if she wanted. You can't do anything about it. They'll sell tickets. What I mean, the Hanson kid's not selling tickets. Let's be honest. But do you remember?
That's why Madonna doesn't work. Like there's no
Yeah, you're right.
it's
right.
got to be somebody who wouldn't even be considered a celebrity.
Yeah, right.
They have to say. It'd be like if a kid from The Sandlot became a stand-up, but is constantly saying, "Did you guys see The Sandlot? I was the one that they say opens up, starts making malls when I'm older." Oh, that kid, right?
I mean, I'm still getting paid my money. Why would I hold it against them? I think that the
Because he's
Booker is
making 5
wild
times as much is not
and wasting
nearly
money.
as good as
That's
you are.
envy. That's envy.
Yeah, and it's pretty common.
But it's not healthy. I try not to do it.
You're telling me that you wouldn't at least say something to Rachel when you got home, like,
Oh, of course
that
I'd
ended
say
with,
something. But I'd laugh. I'm still getting paid $5,000 for 12
they would
minutes.
be like, and this motherfucker that used to sing 35 years
Oh
ago
yeah,
is getting 25 grand for 5 minutes.
yeah. I would have a rant that would last about 3.5 minutes, and then it's done.
I don't know. I think that you are a true unicorn. I think most comics would be like, hold the phone.
Well,
I'm
most comics are
sorry.
mentally ill.
I don't know. I think that'd be okay. Here's my rank them, and it's not from me.
There's no way you disagree with that statement that most comics are mentally ill. But I was gonna say, do you remember like about 7 years
It's also
ago?
unfair. I mean, like stand up is
Yeah,
unfair. The
yeah,
the
exactly.
business is unfair.
You
So
have to. Part of it is understanding it's always going to be bullshit. So that like if it was years ago, it would have bothered me. But then you get to the point where you go, oh, none of this makes sense. All you can do is just
yeah, it's the
try to
only
make
thing that
people laugh.
truly liberates you is if you're just like,
It's
no, none of this is fair.
it's
None of the
yeah,
quality actually matters. None of it. Sure, of course.
it's all absurd. Yeah.
That's right. You can't be mad if you're in Bizarro Land.
But what I was gonna say is, do you know about 7 years ago when there were like 4 different people doing comedy because they had an affair with a politician? or
Oh.
or wait a minute, it was a politician or a famous athlete.
Well,
it was both at the same time, but it was
one of them still does it. Who what's her
did
name?
not know
Who
that.
famously like pointed out like what Trump's dick looks like on a late show.
Stormy?
Yeah, and
She
apparently
does
she's
stand
quite
up? I
good.
didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently.
Stop it. Stop it. Do
I
rank
mean,
them.
look, I'm just saying from the accounts that I've heard,
Stop it.
it's not even like considering who she is. Like I've heard over and over again, like she was really classy, she was really cool, she was really nice, and she put on a good show.
Stop it. I wasn't even talking about her. All right, let's
So you
try
gotta say
this.
5. Okay, I gotta rank them.
Yeah, let me. Do you want me to set up what rank them is, or do you want to do it?
I'll do it.
Let's hear you do it.
Um,
It's hard. I used to
rank.
give
This
the
is how I always
sloppiest
do with
ones
my
that-
friends. This is like my new favorite
Yeah.
game. Whenever I have friends come in town, I always
Yeah.
ask them the same one. But this is different, and it is from a buddy of mine, the same one who texted me about the Civil War and the horseplay.
Mhm.
He listens to the pod sometimes. So basically, rank them is just this: like if you have a perfect partner, right? Except they have one of these 3 characteristics. You need to rank them from the most tolerable to the least tolerable flaw, if you will. Otherwise, they are a perfect partner. You can interpret that as you will.
You set this up so well. That was great. Great description.
So
so
this is what
clean.
my friend Kai said. Okay, this is what I got when I got to the San Francisco airport. Was this text? He goes, "I have my own rank them. Here it is. Number 1, this person had sex with your brother. Number 2,
How
this person
recently?
this person had sex with your dad. Number 3, when meeting new people, this person will mention that their ancestors were proud plantation people that owned slaves."
I guess we got to go brother dad plantation.
You're just gonna go ABC 1, 2, 3?
I'm going brother dad plantation.
Yeah, I think I went BAC for some reason because of the
dad
Indiana
first.
Jones and the Last Crusade connection. I'm a little more okay with B than A, and I don't know why.
Interesting.
It probably should be ABC, but C is at the absolute bottom.
That reminds me of one of the classic ones by by Al, the co-creator of this game, which was looks exactly like your mom did at her age and will age exactly as your mom has. Number two, has your mom's exact voice and vocal mannerisms. Number three, aggressively hits on your mom every time she sees her.
I think you have given the third one there, but not the first two. Oh my God. Well, it's got to be,
It's horrendous, right?
it's got to be, she looks like this person looks like my mom, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly as she did.
Okay, then it's 3, 2,
at
1.
her age.
3, 2, 1.
I go
That's what it
2,
is.
3, 1. I go 2, 3, 1.
The voice, the mannerisms?
I got to take that over aggressively hits on my mom, just because I'm picturing that in the worst case scenario. Like we're over at the house, and after I go to bed, she goes upstairs and is like, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I'm like, God. So that one's worse.
I think in a way, I mean, it's so much fodder for conversation. And, maybe you don't see your parents that much.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
but
that's
you
like a
do.
twice a year thing.
But it's going to be however you normally do it. These things are unalterable.
Right. That's a really good one. Yeah.
You ready for the official ranking of the day, though?
Ready for that. Yeah.
Or at least from my side. Number one, her job is she's one of those naked sushi tables where people serve sushi, for like businessmen. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is this like a Japanese thing?
No, it's like an American thing, I think, of assholes. Basically, it's like a naked woman is the table and sushi is served on.
Oh, yes, of course. I was imagining like if the Benihana chef was naked. Okay, yeah.
Right.
I gotcha.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's her job forever, right? She has this very degrading job and she will have it forever. Okay.
Okay, can I ask, does she like the job?
She puts up with it.
Okay, so she tolerates it. All right, that
she doesn't like it. She puts up with it. Number two, stuffs her pants so it looks like she has 5 pounds of dong.
All right.
And if you're a woman and you're thinking like, how do I translate this to a man? Let's just say it's like he talks to you about crypto a lot. That would probably be the equivalent. Yeah, but okay. Sushi table, stuffs her pants so it looks like she has 5 pounds of dong. Number three, her name is a racial slur, and she does not respond to nicknames.
Okay.
It's like an old-timey racial slur. It's an old-timey racial slur. I don't know which one.
Okay.
But it's an old-timey racial slur, but everyone knows it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, I have one in mind, but I don't want to say it out loud. That's the oldest timey one I can think of. Man, it's tough because like the first one, when she's the sushi table, that could lead to a lot of resentment towards you for not being able to make like a good enough of a living that she could quit this job.
Yeah, it's worse than it sounds, right? There's a lot of levels there.
Yeah, but what if you make a great living and she just keeps at it? Like that's her career. Like she's getting a pension out of this or something.
Yeah, then you're like, what the fuck are you getting out of this? Laying down and so that businessmen can eat salmon off of your legs.
Yeah, talk about the ripples in your thighs and stuff. I know. Yeah. Man, that's tough. What was the second one again?
Stuffs her pants so it looks like she has 5 pounds of dong.
Oh, God. I think the most tolerable is going to have to be 1. And it's not that tolerable. It's going to cause a lot of problems in the relationship. But if she's perfect otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's the trick about these, is that whenever you ask anyone else, like my mother-in-law was in town last week, and I was asking her a bunch of rank thems, like 3 or 4 out on the patio while she was smoking a J. And over again, she just kept on saying, but if they're perfect, they wouldn't do this. And it almost led to, I wanted, those things in the arcade machines where you go and try to get a stuffed animal, the claw. Yeah. I wanted a claw to come out of the clouds and grab her and take her away every time
this is your mom saying this?
My mother-in-law.
Oh, mother-in-law.
Yeah. Okay. So it'd have to go. It'd have to be 1, 2, 3. It'd have to be ABC. It would.
What if? Okay, so let me tell you the backstory on this. Her name is a slur thing.
Mm-hmm.
My little brother's name is Jasper. My brother, my dad, and stepmom. His name's Jasper. When he was a kid, he couldn't say his own name, so he would say Japper,
Okay.
which then got abbreviated to Jap, and that's what he went by for like 15 years until we realized, oh, that is actually a slur, isn't it? It
I
never
mean,
occurred to
certainly not commonly used.
but it didn't occur to anyone. Maybe until our 20s. I don't know.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that's like during the Great War. That's what people would
but
say. Yeah.
that type of racial slur. We're not no N-word or anything like that. Nothing.
I
like
wasn't
that.
thinking that actually,
Yeah.
but I was trying to think of a real old timey one. N-word is not something that
Either
you would
that
think of
or,
when you
or
think old timey.
either that or Polak or something like that.
Yeah, right. Kraut. You thinking Kraut? Kraut. I mean, like there's
Kraut's
certain
kinda
ones
fun.
you could get away with. Kraut would be fine. Kraut would be fun.
What if her name is Cracker? I think that's fun. I think that's a fun slur.
I got called a Confederate once on a subway, and I wasn't even dressed like like somebody
Were
from
you
the
dressed in a
1860s.
gray suit?
Exactly. Like pants are way overstretched. No, I didn't get called. I think I heard some other dude get called Confederate. I'm like, wow, what a thing to say.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, I think I would go. I mean, sadly, I think I got to go. Depending on what the.
No, you can't say that though. I mean, it's too easy to say that.
You're right. It's got to be something that's uncomfortable. I think I got to go sushi table 1.
Yeah, of course.
And I think I got to go.
Because that's just a job. It's odd that she continues to work there after, like, she has she's a PhD or something, and she continues to work as a sushi table. That's
easy money. You just
well,
say
then
easy
it's a
money.
kink. Then it's like she is servicing a kink that she has.
Yeah. I think number 2, I go with the name that's a slur, and 3, I go the pants, stuff in the pants.
That's 3?
I think so, because you're just lying to people.
Yeah.
Stuff in your pants, you're a liar. You don't have 5 pounds of dong.
But there's
You're deceiving the public.
There's a lot of depends on the word for that number 2. There's a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. 100%. The 5 pounds of dong, I mean, it's just you're drawing the eye all the time. You don't say the person's name every 5 seconds, you know?
What if you threw in another one? If the number 4 was every time you're like hanging out with your parents and they're there, at some point during the meal, they stand up and they say, I got to go take a 3. That means I'm going to take a shit and a pee at the same time. 2 + 1 is 3. And then they walk off every single time. And you're mid-meal. You're eating. It's not like you just ordered. You're eating your meal.
That's going to go right before 5 pounds of dong.
So that's pretty low. Okay. You'd rather have the name than I'm going to go take a 3?
Yes, because in my head, her name means something else in another language.
This is all, see, you're finding loopholes. You're suggesting that there's
Well, I mean,
some
that's
way
the only
of
time it would ever happen. No one would ever.
No,
no
I
one ever
answered this
just
question like a man.
name
I answered this
someone.
question like they are fiercely loyal to this name. And there's no explanation for it whatsoever. They're not remotely racist. They just love this name.
Well, if it's just devotion to the slur, then it's last.
Well, that's exactly how you asked it. But you created a loophole so you could better answer your own question.
Okay, that's it. I mean, what you're saying is fair, but I also just thought in my head was like, oh, I mean, it's got to mean something else in another language. Otherwise, no one would do that.
Oh, then you
I
should
see
have
what you're
told me
saying.
that.
I see what you're
because
saying,
then you have an explanation every time you introduce her to or him to anyone.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You go, their name is this, which is awkward, but in his or her native.
It means Kent, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Folks, thanks for listening.
You brought it out.
Don't forget to save your passwords and have different ones for everything. Random strings. Nick, where can people find you on the internet and learn about things from you about you?
Well, this Saturday I'll be at Yellow and Company. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that's great. Mahomet, Illinois. That's a great room.
Yeah. This Saturday.
Run by a great couple. I am working on my book for the next couple months. I'll be back on the road in September. Yeah, I mean, that's about it. Yeah, you can check the cities on the website. I'm going to be in Minneapolis, Edmonton, Vancouver, Chicago with Nick Cobb, DC, Philly, San Diego. It was just added, but it's not on my website yet, but it will be added very soon.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening. And you can also get my book on the thing. By the way, my friend, a friend of mine was reading my book, and he said someone came up to me and said, I saw that recommended on a list somewhere. How was it? And hopefully he said something nice to her about it after that.
Nice.
Anyway, I thought that was nice.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna die from these hot dogs. All right. I guess that's a good place to end, right?
Man, the last time I made hot dogs this weekend, I used the air fryer. It's like the best hot dogs I've ever had. But air fryers can't even get the stomach issues out of hot dogs. They're just there. If you're over 35, they're just going to be there.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Just a couple of guys palling around, coming out of your speakers, a beautiful sound. They debate, berate, and have a laugh or two. Connor v. Cobb, for me and for you. La 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 la, la 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 la. Connor v. Cobb, for me and you.
Ryan and Nick. Nick and Ryan. The Scoundrels of the Hour.